So this is going to be your study planner. As you can see, it has the date on there, which is 7/6. So it's going to update in real time. You can put whatever you want at the top for the subject. So for example, I just put fundamentals of nursing. But if you're doing another class such as pharmacology or med-surg 1 or 2, or which I teach is critical care, you can add that to the top of this as the name of the class. It's going to give you the topic. So my recommendation to you guys is once you get your syllabus, go ahead and open up the syllabus, and it should be outlined what you're going to be studying for that week. So the first week you might be doing vital signs. The second week you could be doing bed making or whatever the case may be. But you want to go ahead and fill out the topic section with all the topics that you're going to be discussing in that class. Once you put the topics in, you want to go over to the side. You want to roll over to the side, and you're going to go ahead and put the due dates in. So the due dates are going to coincide with whatever exam you may have for that class on a particular day. So for this example, I have the due date as 7/15/2024 for vital signs. It lets me know how many days I have left until that due date is completed. And then it lets me know where I'm at with it. Is it ongoing? Do I need to start it, or have I already completed? And you have a little tracker box on the side that outlines everything that's being discussed. So projects ongoing, projects completed, projects to start, and so on. It has a drop down arrow on it. So you can drop down and say that you've completed this task, right? I've did all the studying that I need to do on vital signs, and I'm done. And it's going to update on the side to let you know that this task is now completed. If something is ongoing or if you need to start it, you can use those drop downs to change whatever you want to let you know where you're at in your study process. So ideally, it's always going to be ongoing. You're not going to really be complete until you take the test, take the exam, or get close to that exam date. Now, this study tracker is formulated with more than one subject, so you can add more than one class to this. So subject 2 can be your next class. So if you're doing fundamentals and your next class is intro to pharmacology, you can add that right here. Right at the subject sign, you're going to go ahead and put the name of that class in. Okay. So now you have that class in. Again, you're going to look at your syllabus, and you're going to put everything in the syllabus under the topic sections that go along with that. So it could be dosage and calculations, all right, multiplication, or whatever you're doing in that class. So you're going to go ahead and put that information in. If you notice at the top of the tracker, it has the dates. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you can pick which you want to study on these particular days, and also give yourself a chance to rest. Again, we don't want you to feel overwhelmed, and we don't want you to feel as though you're cramming all of this information in at one time. So you can hit and each of these cells have a drop down arrow in it. So all you're really doing is hitting the drop down arrow and plugging in what you want to do for this particular topic, for this class on this week. So if you always want to start with review PowerPoint and chapter objectives and make questions. You want to make questions from your chapter objectives that's inside of the book. Every chapter is going to let you know what the chapter is composed of. And instead of reading those chapter objectives, you're actually going to change them into questions, right? So they may say you're going to define vital signs. So you would change that into what is vital signs? What is blood pressure? What is a high blood pressure? What is a low blood pressure? And go in and answer those questions. So you can put that in for Monday. You can do the same thing for bid making. You're going to review the chapter objectives and create questions along with hygiene. So on Monday, you're going to review 4 topics. You're going to review the PowerPoints for those 4 topics, and then you're going to go into the chapter that pertains to that topic and make those chapter objectives into questions. Tuesday, if you want, you can rest, or you can go in and answer those questions. So those chapter objective questions that you made on Monday, Tuesday, you can go in and answer those questions. So I'm going to answer all of my chapter objective questions. And again, you're going to go and hit the drop down arrow to coincide with what you want to do for that day. Wednesday, you can create a flashcard or concept maps. So Wednesday, I'm going to create flashcards and concept maps for all 4 of these topics that I studied, right? So I've done my part for the week. So I might want to stop there, give myself a break on Thursday or Friday. We all know in nursing school that you're taking more than 1 class at one time. So now you can come down to your second subject. And maybe on your second subject, Thursday, you want to review the chapter objectives for that second subject, for your intro into pharmacology. And then Friday, you're going to answer the questions for those chapter objectives. Okay? And remember, you're always giving yourself a due date, and your due date is going to coincide with when your exam is for this particular topic. And as you can see, you've already did a lot of studying. So you've studied 4 topics, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, over 3 different modes of studying. So you're not just opening up the chapter and reading the book and highlighting. You're actually making questions. You're answering those questions. And then you're creating flashcards or concept maps based off the answers to those questions. And then you're giving yourself a chance to break on Thursday. Friday, you're going in and you're actually doing another subject. You're reviewing for your pharmacology, right? You're reviewing your PowerPoints for pharmacology, and you're answering those questions. Saturday, you may want to go in and review your flashcards for those 4 subjects that you started on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So you're going to review the flashcards or concept maps that you made. And you're going to plug this into your schedule, right? And then on Sunday, you might want to go back to your second subject and create some flashcards or create some concept maps for that second subject, okay? So you now have your week planned out for 2 subjects where you've reviewed the chapters, you've made questions, you've answered those questions, you created concept maps, and you reviewed those flashcards or concept maps. And you've actually started studying for another class in addition to that. But you've given yourself a break. You had a break on Thursday and you had a break on Friday. Now, again, this study tracker does allow you to add on 3 subjects. So the 3rd subject, I always recommend that you make this your exams. And go ahead and plug in all of those exams or quizzes that you're going to have. And the due dates for those exams and quizzes should coincide with the due dates for your studying. Okay? You come over, you'll be able to see again how many days you have left that you're continuing to study for that topic, right? And again, remember, this is just week 1, okay? So in week 1, you've already created a comprehensive study plan for you. You can now go to week 2 and plug in some additional information in week 2. Okay, so week 2, you had your vital signs, your bid making, your delegation, your hygiene. Those were the 4 topics that you studied. You can now come into week 2 and say that I'm going to go ahead and answer some mock exam questions on these topics, right? I'm going to answer some mock exam questions on Monday. for these 4 topics. On Tuesday, I'm going to look at some skills videos that coincides with these topics. And again, you're plugging everything in that you want to do for that week. Okay? So your first week, you've already answered your chapter objectives. You've created flashcards. You've created concept maps. You've reviewed those flashcards and concept maps. And now we're into the second week where you're now testing your knowledge. How much of that information did you actually retain? So on Monday, we're going to do those mock exam questions. And then on Tuesday, we're going to do some skills videos. So that's for your one subject. You can then come down to your second subject, which we said was going to be Intro to Pharmacology. And say that on Wednesday for my Intro to Pharmacology, I want to go ahead and review my flashcards that I created. Okay, so I'm going to do that on Wednesday for Intro to Pharmacology. I'm going to review my flashcards. And then on Thursday, I'm going to go in and review the answers to the questions that I created from my chapter review. Okay, do you guys see that? So now you have different things that you're doing on those days. And you can always take that information out so you know that on Monday and Tuesday, you're reviewing your mock exam. On Wednesday, you're reviewing your stuff for pharmacology. And again, your last subject can always be when your exams are, or you can plug in another class here if you want. So when we get down to exams, you can go in and say that you want to continue to answer some mock exam questions, right? And remember, you're only doing this for maybe an hour or 2 hours a day. So now you have you have week 1 and you have week 2. If your exam was scheduled for week 3, you might just want to concentrate on just reviewing mock exam questions and maybe reviewing your flashcards and your concept maps. So then you can go in on Monday and again say that you're going to answer some mock exam questions for those subjects that you've plugged in. Tuesday, you're going to do more mock exam questions, right? Wednesday, you're going to do more mock exam questions. And Thursday might be the day that you take your test. So you've got your schedule set up for 3 weeks. So this study tracker is for 4 weeks. You can actually go into week 4 if you want and start building up things for your next class to get you prepared. You will have to take some time to go in and build your schedule and remember what you're going to be studying for that day. But this is a great way to study without feeling overwhelmed. You're building the topics that you want to review, and then you're saying, what exactly are you going to do for these topics on Monday? What do I want to do for these topics on Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on? And you're doing that for more than one class, okay? And that'll be your whole study planner. And again, you're keeping track of where you are. So you have your due date, and it lets you know that I have 19 days left into my exam. So I have 19 days to study this particular topic until my exam it's time to take that exam. Once you get to that date of 7/25, you can go in and put completed, okay? And it'll reflect on your other end that you completed that task, okay? You can change these due dates however you want. Once you change the due dates, as you can see, it lets you know how many days you have left to complete that task. And you can fill this up with as much relevant information as you need. So you can use this to study for your exams in class. You can also use it as a NCLEX tool for studying for NCLEX. Okay. You can put in the topics that you're struggling with. If you're struggling with EKGs, if you're struggling with respiratory concepts or cardiac concepts, you can put the exact topic that you're struggling with into here and then build out the days that you want to study and how you're going to study that information. And again, you're only doing this for 1 to 2 hours per day. So you're not sitting in front of the book for 4 and 5 and 6 hours trying to cram all of this information in. You're doing it for 2 hours on Monday, and then you're going back and reviewing what you did on Monday on Tuesday to make sure that that information has sunk in. And then on Wednesday, you're creating your flashcards again or your concept maps to help you with that.